Welcome to It Starts with Clarity. I'm your host, Ellen Gibson. Each week, we explore the power of clarity because I truly believe that when we gain clarity, we can make better decisions, move forward with greater confidence, and create a life that's more intentional and fulfilling. If today's episode encourages you, I hope you'll subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you care about. Our mission is simple: to spread clarity and encouragement to as many people as possible. Let's dive in. Recently, I had one of those moments that reminded me how easy it is to live on autopilot. I've always been interested in health. Like many of you, I've taken vitamins and supplements for years. Some were recommended by friends, some by health professionals, some because they just sounded like a good idea. And over time, my supplement cabinet simply grew. I wasn't really asking, is this still serving me? I was asking, what else should I add? Then I decided to stop, not taking supplements, but stopping long enough to evaluate them. I sat down and I looked at every single thing I was taking. Why? What evidence supported it? Was it still appropriate for this season of my life? And could I simplify? That process reminded me of something much bigger. We all need regular evaluations. We simply outgrow things. One of the biggest mistakes we make is assuming that because something helped us once, that it will help us forever. But that's not how life works. Children outgrow clothes. Businesses outgrow systems. Marriages outgrow old communication patterns. Faith grows deeper. Our bodies change. Our priorities evolve. Yet we often keep doing what we've always done simply because we've always done it. Sometimes growth isn't about adding. Sometimes growth is about refining. Autopilot can feel safe. I've always done it this way. I've always believed this. I've always eaten this. I've always worked these hours. I've always responded this way. The problem is that yesterday's answers don't always solve today's questions. Growth requires us to intentionally pause, not because something is wrong, but because we are continually becoming someone new. I started asking myself one simple question. What is still serving me well? That question really applies everywhere. What habits still serve me? What relationships still need my investment? What commitments are life-giving? What routines have simply just become a routine? Where am I carrying something that no longer belongs in this season of my life? Those are powerful questions. As many of you know, I have been working on long toward health and longevity, not because we want to live forever, but because we want the years we're given to be healthy, energetic, and purposeful. I recently rebuilt my entire wellness plan, not because everything I was doing was wrong. Many of the things I had been taking served me well for years. But my body isn't the same body it was at 35. My goals aren't the same. The science evolves. So I made some adjustments. Some things stayed, some things changed, and some things I simply removed completely. That wasn't admitting I had been wrong. It was acknowledging that I've outgrown them. The more I thought about it, the more I realized this has been true throughout my entire life. Every few years, I've had to reevaluate my career, my business, my friendships, my goals, and my routines, and actually even my own identity. If you've followed this podcast for very long, you've heard me talk about pivot points. A pivot point isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's simply an honest evaluation. Am I still becoming who I want to become? Or am I simply repeating yesterday? One thing I've learned through consulting is that people often ask the wrong question. They'll ask, "What should I change?" Instead, ask, "What deserves a fresh look?" That question removes judgment. It removes shame. It simply creates space for awareness. Awareness creates clarity. Clarity creates better decisions, and better decisions create a better life. So this week, I'd encourage you to spend an hour with a notebook. Write down the major areas of your life: your health, your relationships, your finances, your work, your spiritual life, your routines. Now ask one question under each heading. What is still serving me well? And then one other. What have I simply continued because I've never stopped to evaluate it? You may discover that the next breakthrough in your life isn't adding something new. It may be refining what already exists. One thought has stayed with me through this entire process. Every season deserves a fresh evaluation. What served us at 35 may not be what serves us at 60. What served us when we started our business may not serve us as we lead a team. What served us during one season of life may need to evolve for the next. Growth often isn't about adding more. It's about choosing better. And that, to me, is what intentional living looks like. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who may need the reminder that it's okay, it's even healthy, to reevaluate. Please subscribe to It Starts With Clarity, leave a review, and help us continue spreading this message of intentional growth around the world. If you're personally navigating a pivot point in your own life or business, I'd love to connect with you. Visit pivotpointme.com to learn more about one-on-one consulting, mastermind groups, speaking engagements, and the resources available to help you move forward with clarity. And until next time, remember, clarity isn't a destination, it's a practice. And every new season is an invitation to see your new life with fresh eyes.